Okay, little update. It is Friday, approximately 4 p.m. We have some recruits. We have Zach inside the car working on wiring. We have Bob in the back working on relocating the fuel tank. Right now I'm going to do oil change, new oil filter, and then other than what they're doing in there, wiring is probably the biggest hurdle right now. After fluids, I think we will be looking good.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed history.
How about that? Oh, right there. The bolt thread's in there.
Gotcha. Where's that bolt at?
I'm hoping that we are getting close to officially converting a bracket car into a drag and drive car. Now, we backed it off the trailer, we pulled it inside, and we started tearing it apart. So we still don't know how long it'll run or anything like that, but we are hoping for the best. We got wishful thinking, but there's lots of little things that have crept up. What we really thought we were going to start with is the fact that it had a 410 rear gear, it's got small tires in the back. So the ad said, not good for driving long distances. So when I talked to the guy about it, it's like, okay, this is what we'll do, we'll put a gear vendor in it. So Rick overnighted gear vendor. We just actually got the drive shaft back today. We shortened that drive shaft by 14 inches to accommodate the gear vendor. We had to switch it to a Turbo 400 input. So that's done and back together. And we're whittling down the list, but every time we thought we had a list, that's what we thought that we had to do. And then we got it back, and this was the radiator that was in there. As soon as, like, it wasn't even pressurized and there was water coming out, you can see the drip marks where it was running down the radiator, and that literally was from pulling it into the shop. So Be Cool is hour and 15 minutes from here, so we called Be Cool, and they were nice enough to get us a new radiator turned around basically in one day. So we called them in the afternoon. Next morning it was ready to be picked up. They had an electric fan to it because it had, I don't know where the fan is, but it had the fan mounted to the front of the water pump, but no shroud or anything. So it was fine for a bracket car that literally runs for 5 minutes and then it's shut off. But to turn it into something that can be able to run for hours on end, cruising down the backcountry roads, was not accommodated. I guess the other part, well, I mean, I guess we just covered this whole engine compartment first, but like, then you have, this was the pulley on the alternator. It is as big as the fan on the alternator. So I am assuming that to get every bit of horsepower they could get out of this engine, they were slowing the alternator down to gain half a horsepower. I'm not quite sure how much it added to it. So you got that, and then we have to upgrade the alternator wire because this is the alternator wire. So with the demand of with the cooling fan or other electronics that will be in here, like that would melt. So that is not going to work. So we still have to do that. We have a lot of stuff close, but not done yet. It is Friday afternoon. We got to load it tonight or we got to leave tomorrow morning. So not sure that we'll get any miles on it, but hopefully we can make it run and start and pull out of the building. So the other was throttle linkage. This was when it was tightened totally loose because that size was different there, and then in the back it just had a piece of what the hell's that wire called, Bobby?
Safety wire.
Safety wire holding that together. Now, probably fine for the limited application it was in, but when you drive something down the road, things are going to rattle, things are going to like come apart. So that was a critical thing that we worried about. So Bob made a custom bushing for it. Bobby got all that together. We do need a longer radiator hose. EJ's out to get that radiator hose. When we move our way back, it did not have a passenger seat in it. The driver's seat, I mean, worked the way it was mounted, but it was too far. It was too far back and not adjustable at all for a different height driver to be in it. So Bobby again made shims for it, leveled it all out, and added the passenger seat to it. So it came with a passenger seat, kind of a whatever, an old school like cruiser type one. We started to put it in, and then Bob ixnayed that and said no, they got to match. So much better than what it would have been. Right. All right, so there's actually the fan blade that was on there. No shroud or anything like that. Seat belts were out of date by 7 years, so we did update the seat belts. Took that out of one of the other vehicles so that those are good to go. They are sick orange, so that's pretty cool. Then it comes to electronic wise, which is yet to be solved. Zach actually is getting picked up from the airport right now. He's coming in to hang out for sick summer, and he really loves wiring. So, and Aydan, who we normally put on wiring, is busy trying to get his car done still. So, we'll lead Zach into that. But we had Ididit out because an Ididit column, we're like, oh, there's no power going through it. So Jeff from Ididit actually came out last night, and we did upgrade everything with the quick release on the steering wheel. So this is all on their column. I blamed it on the column to get him out here, but then he proved that it's somewhere else in the wiring because the turn signal, all that stuff works. There's just no power going to the column. So we haven't had time to sort that out yet. That's been kind of pushed to the last thing is the wiring, because I mean, if you've ever done the drag and drive, sometimes wiring's happening in the tech line on your way there, but we have to have the appearance of functioning turn signals, headlights, brake lights, and a horn. So it doesn't have a horn, so I'll get in a horn. So we couldn't figure out the line lock. We finally did figure out that they do have a master switch for the line lock to activate it. We don't know, we might be stealing that switch for something else. We still have to wire in the gear vendor to be able to use the gear vendor. But seat-wise, seatbelt-wise, that part's solved. So we come back to just the wiring is the big thing right now, except when you look back there at Bobby, and the fuel tank is in the driver's compartment. Now I thought maybe there's some gray area, because this car's been raced before, that it only matters if a car goes so fast. So I unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know which way you want to put it, texted the tech director for the NHRA a picture, and he said absolutely not. So now Bobby is working on fabricating a cover for it to make it legal, because it has to be separated from the driver's compartment. So he could either put a wall right here
That'd be sweet.
or cover the fuel tank. So Bobby's working on bending some tin and covering the fuel tank. And so between that and the wiring, it's almost ready to fire up for its first drive. So we may, knock on wood, successfully pull off converting a bracket car to a drag and drive car in 4 days. Still don't even know who the drivers are going to be for this. 2 pilots. There's lots of wrong guesses. So whenever you're seeing this video, I can tell you there's a whole bunch of wrong guesses out there.
Yeah, I got to remount it now because it was up above and inside the car. That's illegal. You can't have any kind of fuel source inside your car without a firewall. So as you can see, that'd be a tough one to wall off. So I'm dropping it back through the floor and got to make some kind of mounting system from here to there, and then put a flat plate back over it, and then we'll be back in business. It's just one of the many things that I have to get done, and it is now. What time is it?
It is 4:48.
All right. So I have 12 minutes before I'm off the clock. Think I can do it?
If anyone can.
Nope. No. Ain't a chance in hell, man.
You got seconds in there. We finally got the converter in there after we pulled the tranny about 3 times. And I squished my hand. It was a fun day. It still hurts.
How many pairs of bushings did we have to make?
2. 2 pairs of bushings, because we made a pair of bushings last night. We stayed up all night to do so. Only
And
to
by
find
all
out-
night, that is 5 a.m.
Yeah. Only to find out the flex plate was wrong, and we couldn't use that converter anyway. So it was a complete waste of time.
It was.
So,
But after 3 days of us waiting to cross this off, we can cross off change flex plate
if
converter.
you could even read that.
Hey,
You think anybody on YouTube can read that?
probably not. Oh,
What? What'd I miss? Oh no, Aydan. Hypothetically speaking, we are not committing any federal crimes here.
just because it's written on the whiteboard
Doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
That's just silly goosey.
Do not.
There we go.
See, there we go.
See?
We're doing nothing.
Oh, dude, this is Tuesday.
What's Tuesday?
That's so far
Oh
away.
shoot! What's that? Head pins?
Hood.
Hood pin? Oh shit!
We still gotta do
That's
that.
not looking
Oh, dude,
Oh, the fuel
this
lines.
is done. No, that's not done yet.
Belt.
Yeah,
I see belt.
we-
Yeah. Nice. And
That's not done.
that's what we made the mount.
Yeah, but it's not. It says mount switch. It doesn't say.
That
make
also
mount.
took 2
Oh,
tries.
this is done. I did that today.
Man.
Dude, look at our list is
Now we
going
can fill in
down.
the gaps of the stuff that didn't make it on the list.
Well, I already added pull tires
saw
back
that.
off to run lines. What else do we have to do?
Wire it. That's all
Wires.
it looks
You see that bushing? Joey made that.
like. And then I had to make new bolts for it too. That was a process.
How many times did you make the bolts?
Twice. I did it wrong. Well, I didn't do it wrong the first time. Well, I did do it wrong, but then I tried to shorten them and I shortened one too much, so then I had to make a new one.
2 pairs of bushings, two
Pairs of bolts.
had to
Two
do
sort
belt
of.
bolts twice.
Aydan Bailey.
This is the face when you close the garage door and it's light out, and then you open the garage door and the sun is rising.
Aydan, what time is it?
My watch died. That's the time.
7:02
AM or PM?
a.m. I think.
I think it's past my bedtime.
Your bedtime isn't for another like 10 hours. You're fine.
Shit, I forgot to sleep though. So Joey spent all night to get 4 wires in the car. Meanwhile, I did the entire, I guess, reused the entire front harness.
And when did you lose your shoe?
Well, I got a little, my
Oh.
foot's going bad.
Uh-oh.
So I took my shoe off, and then I just walk on my tippy toe on one, and it's like I still got my shoe on.
Holy that poor lug nut. Hey, I'm not a fucking shelf.
Monkey see.
Monkey do. Deflated.
Hey guys.
The camera guy blows it.
And then you got headlights, you got brake lights, you got no turn signals.
Okay.
But I was out here yesterday, we went through, so I mean what we know is that it's not getting power. They upgraded the fuse panel.
Okay.
And then we found all this underneath there, that they literally cut this away. So, but we did put 2 together and we could make one of the turn signals light up, but it's not running through the flasher thing in the fuse panel.
Okay.
And in the brakes, they basically took a wire from the battery, they ran it to the switch for the brake pedal, and then out and tied into both the brake lamps so that the brake lights work. But
That is gonna need some work.
so
That's how it gets turn signals.
exactly. So that's the part, but the best we can figure is the stuff is here
Okay.
to do it. But it got pushed down the list to last because I'm like, oh, Zach's coming. He's always looking for something to do, and he loves wiring. All right, so we left the shop, come over here to check on the boys over at M1. We haven't seen them all day today, so I mean, not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Hopefully it's a good thing.
Joey fell asleep at 7 a.m. for about 30 minutes upstairs. I started routing lines underneath and fell asleep for an hour under the car.
Well, I heard B said you fell asleep jacking the car up while Joey was trying to put jacks in it.
That was half asleep. I wasn't all the way asleep.
That was just half asleep?
I have picture proof.
That was me on routing lines.
So, they've gone pretty steady. I'm not really sure how close or how far away they are on things.
We're leaving in, let's call it 24 hours. We're yet to start the car. Or do an alignment. Or do anything with the rear end. Or put fluid in the car. Or finish wiring the car. Or finish fuel lines in the car. Joey says you'll be running in 5 minutes.
Whoa. I specifically remember saying 4 hours.
Joey slept for 30 minutes last night. Aydan slept for an hour last night.
Last night, as in 7 a.m. this morning, us both passing out of not willingness to sleep.
There you go. Aydan says 30 minutes it'll be running. Joey says 4 hours. It's 7 p.m. Hopefully it'll be running and driving in the morning so that we can load it in the trailer.
We've decided that alignment tech doesn't check your alignment or if your bump or trans brake or anything works. As long as you have a horn and headlights, they don't care.
And turn signals.
And turn signals. So we can get that part covered, and we're gonna finish the rest of the car during the week if we have to.
Well, somehow you got to be able to drive it during the week too.
It will drive, just we might need front tires after the first day.
Luckily the first drive is, Luke made it easy on everyone. It's only like less than 80 miles. So the track's open till 6 o'clock the first day. So like literally you could be finishing it in the morning and still be able to run before you hit the road. So. All right, we'll leave you guys at it. It's looking good. Either one of you shower in the last week?
I wish.
No.
Alright, it is approximately, I don't know what time, probably like, I honestly have no idea, 8:45 p.m. We are making progress. Bob is doing a killer job at fabbing up a little cover for the fuel tank. We relocated it to under the car. Zach is in there doing a killer job on the wiring as well. We have turn signals, we have brake lights, we have headlights, we have running lights. Now I believe he's working on cleaning everything up. I'm working on wiring up the gear vendor and the horn. Things are looking good.
There's some fancy wiring that was done here before, and we figured it out. We just needed to know the trick. The trick is just start over. We did get this though. Listen, you gotta be able to check the map.
Like so, and seal gas tank from the inside of the car. So that's going to require something else, but you get the gist of it.
Aydan. 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 Earth to Aydan.
Aydan. I don't think we're gonna make it, but we got another hour.
Oh, we put wires in the car. Yeah, that's where we're at.
What's left?
Alignment and wiring. Everything that was before.
That's that.
But less wiring now.
We love wiring. I'm gonna work on packing up the rest of the stuff. You can work on figuring out how
Cool.
It doesn't run yet. I haven't slept in 40 hours or so. And I'm ready to eat a cheeseburger. That sums it up. I'm just gonna start wiring random things here soon. Aydan's gonna hit the trans brake button and the horn's gonna honk. We'll figure it out at the track at that point. We're gonna finish it in the tech line. But it's fine. It only needs some things for tech, it's fine.
That's what tech lines are for, right?
Exactly, that's where you finish the car, because otherwise you don't have necessarily the most up-to-date rules, because every tech guy's a little different, so like they may interpret it different. So if you finish the car in the tech line, you have the most accurate possible car to the rules. It's big brain.